Today on the net, Muammar Gaddafi the subject of many online cartoons. Web users in India continue their campaign against corruption. And the nominations for the Webby Awards, the Oscars of the internet, have been released online. Muammar Gaddafi is a candidate in the show Arab's Got Talent. Artists from Jordanian animation studio Karabish are poking fun at the Libyan leader by portraying him as a very bad stand-up comedian. And there have been many other online initiatives like this. Colonel Gaddafi is proving to be a never-ending source of inspiration for cartoonists. These satirical pieces often make fun of the Libyan leader's encounters with the media. This clip is a parody of one of his speeches. We see him threatening his people with a toy gun and then being hit in the face by a shoe. This other cartoon looks at Muammar Gaddafi's 17-second television appearance in February, which was filmed to prove he had not fled Libya. This video shows him in Hawaii, saying he's prepared to die in the land of his ancestors. This simpler animation pictures the Libyan leader's escape. After a first failed attempt to flee aboard a fighter plane, he finishes his journey in prison, alongside the former Tunisian and Egyptian presidents Ben Ali and Mubarak. These caricatures are appearing all over the web and also on walls in Libyan cities controlled by rebel forces. Objective, after 42 years in power, put an end to Colonel Gaddafi's cult of personality. On this battlefield, the weapons used are aerosol cans and paintbrushes, but there have also been victims. Kais al-Hilali, a young artist from Benghazi, was killed on the 20th of March after painting a street mural of Gaddafi, presenting him as the king of the monkeys of Africa. In India, the people's war on corruption continues on the web. Many have been inspired by 73-year-old activist Anna Hazare. The authorities gave in to his demands for tougher legislation against corruption after he went on hunger strike, and initiatives aimed at tackling this problem, which affects all levels of Indian society, have been multiplying online. The site Democracy Gone Mad has been set up so that Indian citizens can denounce cases of suspected corruption. They are also being encouraged to film or record these reported cases. The accounts will be verified by the people behind the site before being published online. The satirical game Yes Prime Minister is using social networks to try and raise awareness amongst web users and Indian youth. Players take on the role of the Indian Prime Minister, who's supposed to be cleaning up corrupt elements, but is using them to his advantage nonetheless. This web user feels that despite everything, the mass online mobilization is not enough, and if the situation is to really change, then each citizen must make the effort to fight corruption on a daily basis. The actor and dancer Shahid Kapoor expresses a similar sentiment and says that everyone in India shares some of the responsibility for the current situation. Amit Varma is sharing a different point of view on his blog. He thinks corruption is linked to the exercising of power, and corruption is so high because the government is too present in the day-to-day lives of the people of India. He says to curb this problem, they must reduce the services provided by the state and thus reduce the authorities' involvement in citizens' lives. 2011 Webby Awards. The Oscars of the online world, the Webby Awards, have announced a list of nominees on the event's official website. There will be 70 categories for the 15th edition of the most prestigious Internet Awards, from most practical online activism site to best news site, as well as best entertainment web address. None of the current websites have been left out, and the winners will be announced on the 3rd of May. The site mapofmetal.com hosts an interactive map of different heavy metal groups, arranged by style and cataloguing hundreds of musicians, so web users can learn more about this musical genre. This unusual project will be a great hit with hard rock, speed metal and also death metal fans. And there are also dozens of tracks available to listen to free of charge. Norwegian photographer Terje Sorgjerd is fascinated by nature, and this is reflected in his work. In this breathtaking montage, which he made after a trip to the Canary Islands, you can see the magnificent Milky Way.
Whoosh.